All right. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وبه نستعين إن الحمد لله نحمده ونشكره ونستعينه ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Indeed, all the thanks and all the praises, adoration and glory belong to Allah the Almighty. It is out of His mercy that you and I are able to witness this day. And whether we believe it or not, it is with the mercy of Allah that we are able to be here tonight, because you may need to agree with me that it is not all those who witnessed the beginning of this day that are still alive up till now, that we are able to be here tonight and still hale and hearty. It is out of the countenance and the mercy of Allah the Almighty, and as such we are very grateful, we are very happy, we are appreciative of the mercy that the Almighty Creator has given to us, that He has made it possible for us to be together tonight. You may need to recall that yesterday, while we were wrapping up with our program, we did say that tonight we're going to be talking about the family session tonight, talking about the family hour, and that is talking about the homes. And tonight we are going to be talking about something very, very sensitive and very impactful on the sustainability of our marriages. And that is talking about the importance of affection in marriages. Now, first, let me lay the premise for this discussion and what actually informs this conversation. And will you pardon me, respected viewers, tonight, because my address tonight is going to be zeroing more on the men. And this is because a lot of men, but not all, but a lot of men having, passed through the stage of this frenzy and, infatuation, having passed through those stages, and then they're now married to their wives, you begin to see a different person in them, because they now begin to behave differently. While dating their wives, while still trying to groom her, they are the best of men. They're always available. They're always around her. But when they are married and the woman begins to give birth to children, and as a result of birth, she begins to drop her shape. Her shape begins to, loosen up. She begins to get chubby and, fat belly and puff belly and all this. Things begin to drop one by one and the beauty starts fading. This sort of men, they begin to lose their affectionate behavior towards their wives. Sadly, some of them begin to, look at their wives like they're being a ghost of herself, like looking at her like she's no longer worthy to be beside them. Before marriage, while still dating, if they were to ride in the same vehicle, they would with one hand on the steering, one hand on the steering, one hand at the back of the seat, and trying to look this way and this way, look straight and look to the right. And looking to the right here means look at the babe beside them. But shortly into the marriage and after giving birth to 1, 2, 3 children, these same men, they now begin to drop this toga of affectionate behavior. They now begin to say, excuse me, we can't go out together because, I'm going to be very busy with friends, and I really don't want my friend to see you like this, like as if you are my mother, You see, brothers, affection in marriage is the lubricant. Affection in marriage is the oil that lubricates the marriage itself. When, just imagine driving on the road where you don't have oil, in a vehicle rather, driving in a vehicle which does not have enough oil to lubricate the engine knocks off. The engine, you may have to be planning to buy a new engine anyway. This is what affection does to marriages. Just like if you don't have oil in your car, the tendencies are there that you might have, you might lose your engine because you might have issues with engine knocking off. See, the engine is knocked off, so the engine no longer functions. In the same vein, when affection departs from marriages, yes, the husband and the wife, socially or legally, they could still see themselves as being married, but because affection has left, emotionally, they are no longer married. That is to say that the husband and the wife, they are living together, but emotionally, they are no longer attached to themselves. And this is very dangerous to marriage. I posit that what acts as the soul, the soul of marriage, the nucleus, what makes marriage to be marriage is the affection that goes on between the husband and the wife. If affection is no longer there, the husband sees the wife as in a ghost of herself, and the wife sees the husband as no longer worthy to be a husband. Physical attraction can ignite a relationship. That is to say that a man and a woman might, that is what you call love at first sight. Yes, that's it. Love at first sight. Now, the moment you see someone, you begin to fall in love with that person. This is possible. But this one quickly fades away. What sustains the marriage is the affection that develops, that keeps the marriage alive. Because physical attraction, which ignited the marriage, is not stable. And especially in these days of packaging, everything now packaging. I used to think in those days that you can only package in pictures. Some people package their pictures so that what you see on your cell phone is not really the person, because the person that posts nice pictures because of the decoration and packaging of the face in the phone, in the cell phone, the day you see that guy, reality, this guy, it's not like this guy. It's someone else here, right? I used to think it's only in pictures or digital space that you can do these things. Little did I realize, not even in real time, people can package themselves. As in, real person you see is a different person because of packaging of the eye, packaging of the color, complexion, packaging of the hair, packaging of the shape, packaging of everything. All these things can be packaged. But nonetheless, all these things, whether real or fake, they can disappear with time. They can disappear with time due to body changes. For example, with childbirth, especially, I want to doff my heart for our wives, our sisters, and I pray Allah to bless our mothers. May Allah bless our mothers. May Allah bless our mothers. Allahumma arhamhuma kama rabbayani saghira. May Allah bless them. And the reason I'm saying this is that our mothers have made a lot of sacrifices for us. Not only did they put their lives on the line, they also put their shape, their figure, their beauty on the line in order to raise their children. Meanwhile, you have some men who are so stoic and so, unmoved. Nothing they shake them. The moment you're no longer looking, quote unquote, charming, attractive, they dump you. And this is natural because with childbirth, a woman loses her shape. She loses her, you know what I'm talking about. Every woman knows what I'm talking about. So many things will drop as soon as a woman starts giving birth to a child. And what remains is just the packaging. The reality is that that woman is no longer the same woman that she used to be. This is the contribution of our mothers. I ask Allah in His mercy to bless our mothers, whether they are still alive or they are late. Ya Allah, continue to bless them, particularly Momo. May Allah bless Momo for me and grant her Jannah, inshallah. So with childbirth, a woman loses this shape. Number two, with age, this affects both men and women. A woman in particular will lose her beauty with age. With illness, someone might be sick, and as a result of the sickness, you begin to lose the beauty that you used to have. Furthermore, because of the stress of work, you have to do so many things. We used to be very charming, attractive, and all this. But having been through this challenge of maintaining the home, sponsoring this, and working for that at the workplace, you get stressed out, and all these appearances will change. Now, if the only thing that holds marriage together is the physical appearance, then that marriage from that point will begin to suffer. And that is why when you have people or men who are highly incorrigible, the moment their wives begin to lose those so-called beauty, they no longer value them. They now begin to look elsewhere. And this to me is not good enough. It's sad, right? So now for our men in the house, like I said earlier, that my discourse tonight is going to focus more on the men. Because a woman should not be treated as a product to be discarded after using, like you have used it, you dump it. No. So what keeps the woman, let us check the Quran now. In the glorious Quran, Surah to Rum, chapter 30, verse 21, Allah mentions two important things that are key to marriages. The first one is mawadda. Mawadda is the love that you show to your wife. And that love, like I mentioned, can be informed with the ignition of the initial likeness that you have or the love that you share with your wife. That initial love that you just see her, you loved her, you get attracted to her, that one may not last for too long. But then Allah adds rahmah. That rahmah is the affection, the affectionate behavior, the kindness, the compassion, the affection you still show to the wife regardless of the change in her nature or physical appearance. And that is fundamental and foundational to marriage. What sustains marriage, whether to man or woman to man, is that even when the physical attraction is not there, even when the physical potency is no longer there, what keeps the husband and wife together is the rahmah that they share, the affection that they share. And that is where the fear of Allah comes in. That you don't hate a woman on account of the change in her feature or her nature. You love her because you have rahmah, that rahmah because of Allah. So you keep on cherishing the woman, adoring her, caring for her, taking care of her because of the initial love that you share and because Allah is involved. So rahmah implies the fact that even when the physical beauty that you have for the woman drops down, it doesn't drop the gate of your affection to her. That is, you still cherish her, you still honor her, you still respect her in her presence or absence because of the rahmah that you have for your wife. This is very, very important. Respected viewers, tonight, I want us to understand that affection is a moral responsibility that we have to our wives. And I'm saying this as a man myself, that we have a moral responsibility to be affectionate towards our wives. We shouldn't see our wives as people that we can use and dump. And no thanks to those men who see women as products to be used and abandoned. For me, women are very amazing human beings, especially if you are lucky to have good women as your wives. If you are lucky to have good women as wives, they are very amazing human beings. And I don't need to go overflog this. I don't need to overemphasize this, that Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told all the men that you don't have anything higher as a gain in life. Mastafad al-mar'u ba'da taqwallahi min imra'atin salihah. The greatest gain a man can have in life after having the fear of the Almighty, as in you are able to maintain your relationship with the Almighty after the maintenance of your relationship with Allah, the next gain a man can have in life is to have a good woman. And I say that both ways now, because if you have a good woman, you're going to be living in paradise while on earth. And on the flip side, if a woman has a good husband, that woman is going to be living in paradise while on earth, because that is the man that will show affection to you even when every other thing fades away. So we need to practice affection in our marriages. We need to show not only love for the physical appearance of our wives, we also need to show affection to them. And affectionate behavior, I'm going to be talking about affection rituals in a short while, but affectionate behavior has to do with the rahmah, just like Allah puts it in the Quran, the rahmah that it encapsulates, the ability to show tender, loving kindness, to be tender, to be loving, and to be care to your wife. That speaks volumes about the affection you give to her. So like I said, it's a moral responsibility that a man has to his wife to show affection to her. And the reasons are very much, like I mentioned, women are very amazing creatures of the Almighty, and we need to salute them for this awesome behavior, awesome nature with which the Almighty has made them. Number two is that when you appreciate the contribution of your wife, that increases rather than reducing, regardless of the physical changes in her appearance, rather than reducing your commitment to her, because of the fact that you value her, not because of her appearance, you value her because of the worth in her. The worth of that woman makes you to always cherish her. So whether she is looking like this or like that, you was looking, like some people will say, like, sorry, my people will say lekpa. I don't know those of us who speak it right, you understand this? Lekpa. Whether she's still lekpa or she's now the other side, you still cherish her regardless of this. So now the point here is this, that every woman has this responsibility to excuse me. Sorry, I have to quickly pick this call. So every woman has this responsibility, every man rather has the responsibility to make these sacrifices, to cherish the woman regardless of who she is. Also, rather than reducing the worth that you want to give to her on account of the loss of the appearance, the fade, the beauty fading away, you still continue to cherish her because of the fact that you cherish her beyond the physical appearance. Those men who do this, how do we describe them? Because we have to also understand that there are men who actually behave this way. There are men who behave like they don't value their wives, they don't honor their wives, they don't respect their wives. They're not willing to go the extra mile. I'm not saying men. People tend to misconstrue this. Marriage on the part of the men is not all about money. Some men will say, I bought her this, I bought her that, I built that for her, I built this for her. How affectionate are you relating with her? That is the question here. If a man cannot say, you look at the big car I bought for my wife. Yes, you bought the big car. Is your affection also big, if you want to use that word? Yes, you built a big palace for her, but is your affection also palatial? You bought the biggest TV in the world. If you enter the living room, you see the biggest TV in the world in the living room of your wife. But is your affection also the biggest affection to her in the world? These are questions we should be asking ourselves. So men who just switch like this, they are emotionally immature in terms of their relationship with their wives. Now let's quickly take a look at Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who is our role model. The Prophet exhibits and expresses love to his wife affectionately. He's always tender in dealing with them, whether in private or in the public space. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was just the epitome of how a man should treat the wife. Even when he wasn't comfortable with their behavior, sometimes he always tried to relate to them and remain loving towards them, regardless of how they behave to him. And he says in his famous hadith, خيركم خيركم لأهله. The best of you are the best to his wife. And I said earlier I was going to talk about affection rituals in the family. But let me quickly mention this before I go to affection rituals that all of us should begin to practice in our homes. We call them ritual because they are not one-off things. They are things that we should always practice. We should always put into practice every day. It is not something that we should do once in a while. It is something that we should sustain and maintain in our families. But then, before we go to affection rituals, let us look at, because for everything, like I mentioned, the quality of those men who are actually not really in good frame of mind when it comes to dealing with their wives, well, let us look at the consequences of this. When a man does not show affection to his wife, when a man stops showing affection to his wife, when a man stops, being romantic in dealing with his wife, the wife feels emotionally abandoned even while still in the marriage. In other words, she is married, but she knows she's not married. As in socially, legally, the woman is married. They call her Mrs. XYZ and Mrs. ABC, but inside of her, she asks herself the question, am I still married? where is the marriage here? I can't see any marriage here because she's not receiving the affection she ought to receive from the husband. Not only that, when a woman does not receive enough affection from the husband, and let me quickly state this clearly. I am not saying this tonight that women are perfect human beings. Women are not perfect, just as men are not perfect. I'm only dealing tonight with the fact that men has a moral responsibility to be affectionate towards their wives. And with this affectionate behavior, it is my belief, except you are married to a devil in the name of a woman. And I don't want to believe that a man would marry a devil as a wife. Maybe we talk about that in subsequent and future episodes. But tonight we have to address the issue of what happens when a man stops showing affection to the wife. Number one, it makes the woman to be emotionally abandoned. Number two, it reduces the self-worth of that woman. In other words, a woman who used to have, pride. There is this pride in a woman, this feeling of appreciation a woman has, that I'm Mrs. I'm Mrs. XYZ. This self-worth is there. When a woman is not receiving affection from the husband, she no longer has this kind of temerity to say, I am Mrs. XYZ or ABC. Furthermore, with this behavior, when a man stops showing the wife what she should receive from him, this leads to resentment. And with resentment, the coping mechanism sets in. Because the woman now begins to develop coping mechanism. So, I don't want to leave this marriage. I don't want to leave this house. But this man is no longer the way I expect him to be. So she develops a coping mechanism. Because of resentment, resentment leads to coping mechanism. Coping mechanism here could mean she withdraws back to her cocoon. She's still in the house, but she knows that she's not having the best of marriage. She knows herself that, oh boy, she knows ground no level again, One knows that ground no level. So because of this, she just begin to develop coping mechanism. Coping mechanism could be, for a woman, it could be that she just withdraws either to her children or to her business or to her office, or focus her mind on something else, not the husband, which of course is not a very good thing for marriages. So now, when affection leaves the home, the house, which is supposed to be a place where couple will copulate. The house begins to be like a prison of, a prison of rules. Because now the man sees himself like an hegemon. Now we know we have people who are hegemonious in their behavior and character. Give them a taste of power. You see the true color in them. They order this and order that. I tell you this, that the chairman, they say cause of men chairman. And this is not a good thing, because it is transient. It is a transient chance and opportunity that the Almighty has given to you to be the head of the family. And I'm not saying, like I said, that all women are in the best form, but except you are married, like I said, to a Satan in the name of a woman, then that is going to be a discussion for another day. So we must make our homes to be a place where we copulate, a haven of peace, where husband and wife, where we recharge. Yeah, that's the word now. Where we recharge our batteries, so that when the outside world is hot, a woman should rush back home and say, "Oh, my darling, see what I see, And a man should need to come back home after being days with work and all this, colleagues at work trying to trouble and whatever. And he comes back home like Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We all know the story of the Prophet and Khadija. When he had the first encounter with Jibril, Angel Gabriel, he rushed back home to the wife. And he told Khadija, I'm having some issues. I'm feeling cold, because he was so terrified. And Khadija, may Allah make all our wives to be like Khadija to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I want to see comment of Amin or Amen from the men. I can't see men. Put it Amin here. Anyway, that's by the way. I pray Allah will make our wives to be like Khadija, because Khadija provided the comfort. Despite the fact that Khadija was richer, she was older, she was wiser, she has a lot of intelligence, she crushed all these swarms because of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Oh, may Allah bless her. And so Khadija gave Rasulullah the soft landing. Oh no, come, Muhammad, you are a nice man. She began to praise the Prophet. She began to tell good things. Rather than being a woman that would lacerate and nag and insult the useless man. Maybe in a gym you see, say, she didn't insult Rasulullah. She said, no, your Lord cannot trouble you. You are a good man. You are generous. You are kind. You are loving. You are this. You are that. Give the Prophet the best of treatment. I want to salute all women tonight who are like Khadija. I want you to say to yourself, Allah will bless me for being a good wife to my husband. Say it to yourself, that Allah will bless me for being a good wife, for being the Khadija of my husband. Say it to yourself. And if you're not, then you can begin to tonight say that, inshallah, I will begin to start my life for being the Khadija of my husband. Khadija, as Khadija was to Rasulullah, I want to be the Khadija of my husband. May Allah make it easy for us to be. So now the home is supposed to be a place where the husband and the wife should have a haven of peace, where you run back to recharge. So where the home is not in this category, then it's a hell. Look, you can't afford to live in hell, the hell on earth, because the outside world itself is hellish. So you can't afford to now live inside your house in a hellish one. The person will just die quickly. Person could just die quickly because by the time the outside is there, part of my laughter here, when reality is just euphemistic, but it's the reality. Because by the time the outside is hot, should the home be hot? Should the home be hot? No, the home shouldn't be hot. May Allah bless our homes. Now, what are the affection rituals that we need to have in the home? Affection rituals. Like I mentioned earlier, we call them rituals because they are actually things that it shouldn't be a one-off thing. It shouldn't be a one-off thing. It should be things that we will always do. For example, hugging passionately. Hugging yourself should be an affection ritual. Number 2, kissing. Kissing is an affection ritual. Or pecking. Just like should be an affection. Pardon. These are things we should be doing. Hugging, frequent kissing should be affection rituals. Then this kind of statement that connotes reassurance, expressing it. For example, you say, I love you. It shouldn't be one off. It should be said often, like a mantra in the home. Babe, I love you. Darling, I love you. Things like this should be affection rituals. Right? Playing together, when you play with yourselves, should be part of the affection rituals. It should be bantering, as in, the spanking, like not kind of beating, like kind of hit me, I hit you, and the stuff like this. Yeah, it should be an affection rituals. Playing together, strolling or walking together with your hand on the shoulder of your wife should be an affection rituals, or holding her hand should have an affection ritual. That is thing that you should always be doing together, right? Sleeping together should be an affection rituals. And now I'm not saying copulating. I'm not talking about conjugal issues. No, I'm talking about just lying down together should be an affection rituals whereby, you can't be cold and you feel like, look at your wife, look at you, and you're sleeping in separate room, or sleeping, one is facing the north, the other is facing the south. I lie, I lie. You must put super glue or Aradite, put it to yourself and glue yourself together till the next day. It should be an affection rituals, right? Sleeping together, outing together, eating together. In fact, Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam emphasized this, and he calls it one of the best charity that a man can give. He says, "Lukumatun rufa'aha rajulun fi imra'atihi is khayru sadaqah." The best sadaqah, after the sadaqah rather, is the best charity that a man will give in a day is the bite of chocolate or candy or meat or fish while eating. Then you tell your wife, darling, can I feed you with this? And from your hand to her mouth should be a regular affection rituals, among so many other affection rituals that we should cultivate. Now, I told you earlier, why do we call it a ritual? We call it a ritual because it shouldn't be a one-off thing. It should be something that we should always do, constantly, engage ourselves with at home. These are the things that we should do in a home. And we're going to be opening the phone lines now. Perchance you may want to call and share thoughts and your feelings on what you think about this discussion tonight on affection. You can please call 090-722-08098. I repeat, 090-722-08098. So if you want to contribute, you can please call and let's have your contribution or questions or comments. Or better still, you can still drop your comments on the comment section, and with time we're going to see that and we will read it out. Now, there is something that we need to be careful of, and that is when a marriage, or what the basis of attraction between a man and a woman is squarely and fundamentally physical attraction. This one is dangerous, because if the only thing that attracts you to your wife, as in the only reason why you want to die because of that woman is just because of the physical appearance, let me make you understand that these things don't last, especially for men. And I'll tell you why. A man might see someone that is very charming, attractive, beautiful today. Tomorrow, he might see someone more beautiful. If the man has no commitment, if the man has no taqwa, I'm talking about fear of Allah, the man will just be hopping up and down for this man, for this woman today, for that woman tomorrow, because you will always see someone who is more beautiful than your wife. You will always, on the flip side, you will always see someone that is more handsome than your husband. But what keeps you going is the commitment, and that is where the affection comes in. Now, you're not just fleeced by the physical appearance, but you have a commitment, a deep commitment to your wife or whatever as the case may be. Now, if a man is anchoring the attraction he has for the wife only on attraction, it could be the gateway, to infidelity, because once you see the other woman having this thing, and there are some guys, I hardly believe this until I see it myself, that there are guys who will stop at nothing. In fact, they will lie to women just to get them on the ground. And once they are done, they move on. They don't have commitment. They know they care. They know they don't get shame. They get this one down, they get that one down, they just keep hopping and hopping. I pray no woman will fall into the hands of such men, because these are terrible men out there. So such men, they're not really realistic in what they're actually looking out for. Anything goes. That's their slogan. Anything goes. And it's very sad, because once their wife begins to age, she begins to suffer. And you know that the time we need more affection is when we age. And I stand to be corrected. My position is that the time we need more affection is the time we get, age sets in. Because with age, every strength that we have will begin to drop gradually. Even the strength for conjugal affairs will begin to drop. But what sustains us is the affection that we share with ourselves. So if a man has such a tendency, then there's a problem, because such a man will begin to just hop in and out and up and down, and it's sad if one falls into such a man. Now, with this, we say a family should not be based, or a marriage should not be based only on mere physical attraction. And we make a mistake in our society today, and I need to point this out very quickly. I mentioned it earlier that many people, many men, or many women too, they caused this. They present a false picture of themselves before their husbands. How do I mean? In the period of dating, your husband has not really seen your true color. The color you're always presenting is only the color of the, what do you call it now? The pancake or whatever, I don't know. It's the powder, that's it. The powder. So the only thing you're always, so women are used to it that they can't move an inch to see anybody unless they apply powder. Now, if your husband sees you all the time, even before marriage, and eventually you got married, you've not been able to spend any time together except you use powder. So he has been seeing fresh you. The day shall come when he's going to see the real you. So the packaging goes. So the first time he's seeing the real you, he's disappointed. And you caused it. You caused it because you never allowed him to see you exactly the way you are. You have always engaged him. You have always fleeced his eyes with a fake you. So please, let us be natural. That is why I salute women who are always natural. And today, people attach so many things. They attach hair, they attach eyelashes, they attach nails, they attach everything. I wonder if they don't attach nose or lips or whatever shape. So everything is just packaging. You can't live your life in an artificial way. So many women caused it. So we need to refrain from this, particularly the women. Do not present a fake you, the false of yourself, to your husband. Present yourself exactly the way you are. I'm not talking about appearing unkempt. No, but appear natural to your husband. So that he sees you, oh, this is my wife, this is exactly how she looks like. Okay? This makes it better. Now, healthy marriages will move from shape, the way they look, to the spirit of commitment, affection, and spirit of sacrifice. And because they have spirit of commitment, they have the spirit of sacrifice, they are always loyal to their vows. From the youthful days, they still cherish those days those years. So you see people are married for 50 years, they're still bonded together. They're still loving themselves. At old age, they're still cuddling themselves. They're still staying together because of what they have cultivated over a period of time. Respected viewers, respected listeners, affection between couple will mature over time. But when we are attracted by only appearances, over time it will drop. So we men, we need to understand that if a woman has sacrificed for us, she's given birth to our children, she has stood through hard, thick and thin with us, I think it's only normal and natural that we should be able to value her. We should value her with time and with age. That is to say that a woman that has stood with us over time, we should not drop her midway. We should always value our wives. So, respected brothers and sisters and their viewers, affection between husband and wife preserves the sense of pride and dignity. I'm proud of my wives. I'm proud of them because of the way I value them, because of what they had done to add value to my own life personally. I value my wives because of the fact that I cherish their contribution to my life, to my work, to my dawah. So I value them for this. So what do you value in your wives? You should have what you value in them beyond physical appearances. And when we have this kind of commitment beyond appearances, it sustains even the physical intimacy. Because we value ourselves, we spend the best of time together and we share the best of moments together, no matter how little. Even if it's 1 hour, that 1 hour is going to be a qualitative 1 hour. Furthermore, when a marriage is connected with affection, nobody will go into cruelty in behavior to themselves. For example, there could be a moment when husband and wife will have issues to sort out. Sometimes they have to get angry. You could see the way. For example, a husband is angry with the wife. Oh, my babe, I don't like what you did. Darling, why did you do this? You could say the word darling, my babe, oh, my love, why did you do this? It's not dropping the affection, but it's still making it emphatic that he is not happy with this. But you could see the tone. It's not like are you the crazy? Yeah. It's not like you're the mad, useless woman. This is not like this kind of language here. So we have to cultivate this kind of intimacy and relationship. Furthermore, since you know as a Muslim that marriage is an act of ibadah, everything that you do to your wife is like you are worshiping the Almighty. So you are worshiping Allah by being a good husband. So it is not just like what you're doing just for the fun of it. It is what you're doing because you are going to earn reward from Allah. So I'm going to mention the phone line again. Perchance you might want to call if the network is good. I want to believe the network is okay. So 090-722-08098. I repeat, 090-722-08098. If you're calling from outside Nigeria, you can please add +234 then 90-722-08098, and then we can pick your calls. Now, in conclusion, respected viewers, dear listeners, it is important for us to note that when a marriage is bereft of affection, especially on the part of the man to the woman, then that would not be a home again. That would be a hell. Number two, the woman in the home who is not receiving affection from the husband may not truly be happy. She may not be truly happy. And we bring skits to the home now, theatricals to the home, where we act like film. When visitors are around, we pretend as if we are happy. How are you? Come, let's give them this. Can't you do this? And people act a lot of dramas at home now, But as soon as the victors are out, the doors are closed, reality sets in, go your way, I go my way. And that is not a home, that is a hell. So we must begin to generate our own happiness from inside our houses by practicing more of affection with ourselves. And this is it doesn't cost anything. Showing affection to your wife doesn't cost you anything. It's something that you should enjoy just as you enjoy eating your food. So showing affection to your wife is something that you should cultivate as a habit and you should always do all the time. I pray Allah in His mercy to make it easy for us. So we're going to stop here tonight. Let me read some of our messages if we have any. Okay, we have some messages here. My wife, alayhi salam wa rahmatullah. May Allah bless you, Hajjah Zainab. And we have Ahmad Usman. Ahmad Usman, may Allah bless you. We have Ahmad Usman again. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Okay, Brother Ahmad Usman, thank you for all the messages. Sister Suliyat, thank you. May Allah reward you. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakillah khairan. And may Allah bless you, Sister Suleya. We appreciate your messages. May Allah bless your mom too. I'm sorry, I have to mention my mother. She's so much for me. May Allah bless her with Jannah, inshallah. Adirunke, Sister Adirunke, alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May Allah reward you. And all this, Umar, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May Allah reward you. We have Swagger. Okay, somebody Swagger saying Taslim. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brother Damson, Amin. Brother Furqan, Sportive. May Allah bless you. Brother Ahmed. May Allah bless you, mashallah. And Brother Oladele Lukman, may Allah bless you. So these are the messages that we have here tonight. We're going to stop here tonight, except anyone calls in, and we will be able to take your calls. So we go still hold on. If we have any call or any message, inshallah, then we will be able to take them as they come. I ask Allah in His mercy to bless our homes. I want to pray with you that Allah will bless your homes. May Allah bless your wives, your husbands, your children. May Allah make your homes to be a home of peace, happiness, and serenity. And may Allah in His mercy continue to bless us all and give us the best in this world and forever in the hereafter. I ask Allah in His mercy to continue to bless Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wasallam, and all the past prophets and apostles who have taught humanity the way of righteousness from now and always. May Allah bless them and grant them His mercy. So we're still waiting for your comments, calls, questions, contribution, and before we wrap up the session tonight. It's nice to know you are there, and I ask Allah in His mercy to continue to bless us all and bless our home. Just try to go through some messages if we have any, but I want to believe that we have gotten the message tonight, and I ask Allah in His mercy to reward us all abundantly. And we're going to stop here tonight if there is no further questions or comments, so that we can, for those of us who have to pray, we can go for Salatul Isha. All right. We're gonna just call it today tonight. Then ask Allah in His mercy to bless us and bless our homes. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa ant, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين الحمد لله رب العالمين. صلوا على النبي الكريم صلى الله عليه وسلم.